All right. Hey, it's the Action Artist live once again. Coming at you live with a little bit of drawing and some afternoon chat. You can see I'm doing some details on this little sketch I'm working on. Maybe I'll give this away. I got the real Rob Liefeld 1990s, like, you know, there's a big, huge gun on his back, and he's got, you know, machine guns on his arm guards and armor, and you can see I got, you know, he's got a camera and like fucking plating on his face, and look at that big, you know, kind of like Iron Man, you know, he's got these motorized joints, like there's a frame built into the suit, basically that you know, improves his, you know, works in unison with his like reflexes and muscles and stuff like that. Then I'm working on this big giant right here with a receding hairline and a huge forehead. You know, I got, you know, it's kind of like a Hulk. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's
Hulk type character, you know what I mean? It's just a giant. It might give him horns or something, you know what I mean? Look at that. Look at that. Tell me that's not awesome right there. Nut job. Here's nut job, people. I'm really getting it down. Saturday afternoon, I want to talk about social climbing too. I'm just kind of sketching. I kind of like the 90s style. I could do like more. I don't have time to sit around. I don't have a studio. I could use pens and all, or brushes and all that stuff. I'm not going to start inking this stuff till I get a new set of felt tip pens. I'm just not going to do it. So I'm just picking out details right now that I like. I'm going to start throwing veins in and stuff, people. Like, you know, this is going to get serious. Not, you know, I'm just kind of coming, this is all just coming together right now. And, let's see, where's my coffee right here? Drinking some coffee. It's my friend Sky just kind of messing around on his guitar. He's hanging out. How's everybody doing out there? What do you think about Comicsgate, Sky? You probably not.
About what was that?
I mean, you probably don't really know much. You probably not really. It's not huge on your radar or anything, right? But it's just kind of well, I understand there's differences between conservatives and liberals, but the liberals are trying to like get conservatives to lose their jobs based on their, you know what I mean? Like get them fired and stuff from drawing comics based on political views.
Yeah,
like going right for the throat. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
like conservatives aren't trying to go after the liberals' jobs. You know what I mean? And be like, I think they should be fired because they like Trump. You know what I mean, and stuff like that, or they like Obama. I mean, like they like Obama, so they should lose their job or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, man, it's so misconstrued now. There's no like really set black and white. It seems like everything's kind of blurred. gray and in the gray area. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like they don't have like the traditional like good guy, bad guy like they used to. You know.
Yeah.
There's, which things got real complicated and complex. Yeah, now they're using all.
Well, Comicsgate is basically conservatives trying to get back to, more of just comic books that are made just for entertainment, not to like, every comic doesn't have to be to empower women, or you know what I mean, or to to specifically have a gay character just to have a gay character. Not that a conservative creator wouldn't put a gay character in his comic book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just like that. Conservatives don't want to put them in comic books just to force kids to have a gay role model in a comic book.
Can I talk a little bit
about
one of your characters in your comic in
Yeah.
Well, we have an evil villain who is,
Yeah, you helped me. You came up with the initial idea for that, right? That's right. Sky came up with
a homosexual pedophile who's
yes,
definitely not a good man. I don't know. I forget what else was involved.
Yeah, we have a homosexual child trafficking pedophile villain. Yes. Yes. Yeah. His name, he's Satan, like a high level satanic Luciferian type character. Yeah. That's right. Forgot about that. I'm working on the Giant's arm and his armor up here, adding reflections. The Giant's going to be smashing the concrete right here, like a concrete little barrier on the sidewalk, where you would like sit on, you would sit downtown. And I'm gonna go downtown and take some pictures of some buildings. Sky can hang out with me maybe. It's not today, but have some pictures or buildings in the background and take some pictures of some of the Park Square area downtown. Yeah, cool. You know what I mean? And kind of blend it right into the background here. It's gonna look really cool. We got one viewer. I'm gonna go check out the. We probably have more. Who knows? I don't really trust YouTube. I see weird things like on one screen it'll say I have so many views, and then I open up the video and it's a different amount of views, and and then on another, and then I'll watch it and the view will go up, and then I'll watch the video again and the view will go up another one. So it's like they're counting my views or something on YouTube. It's like, what the? I don't know what's going on with YouTube, man. They're just weird. I think that I'm pretty positive that all the really high level YouTubers are all, like we were just talking about, weirdo, shills, satanic shills that are put purposely up there to be bad role models. And the social climbing is really bad because I'll see these YouTubers where I've said some harsh things about them, so they kind of troll me and taunt me by, like, if I say, oh, they never help a white guy, then the next video I see they're helping a white guy. Then I'm like, oh, they never help anybody with no name. Then the next video they're helping a guy that nobody's heard of before, which still makes me even more suspicious if you just help some guy that's never done anything, you know what I mean, just out of nowhere with no history, just does a comic book, and you know what I mean, they're an exception all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So, and then what I'm saying is I'll see these guys, like, they're really big comic book channels. Everyone knows who they are. I don't have to say who they are in Comicsgate. They'll say, oh, you got to be nice to us or we don't help you. But then they'll be talking about another big YouTuber, and they'll be like, I don't know why he doesn't like me. And I'll say, oh, they're not being nice to you, are they? In the comments, and all the Comicsgaters will ignore me, which makes me think they're not all on the up and up either. Yeah. I think they're a bunch of For all I know, there's big giant psyops going on YouTube. You know what I mean? To steal people's ideas, taunt people. You know, and I don't. I mean, you know, it's already been proven that was going on Facebook, and we already know about Google. You know what I mean, and all this stuff. So it's not even like I have to prove it. It's just all public knowledge what I'm talking about right now. So yeah, here's my character. But look, he's got a huge laser rifle, or probably not a laser rifle, but I would say it's something that shoots like you know, fire those. I gotta look up incendiary rounds or something. You know what I mean? It's like some fucking gun. Maybe I'll put like a bump stock mechanism on it that fires like buckshot and like incendiary rounds and set shit on fire. Then he might be able to fight some, you know, some werewolves or something. I don't know. Fires can be pretty bad. But my character is called Nut Job. Nut Job, dude.
Yeah, that's the best.
I can't. It's a Christian character. Where's all the Christians?
Yeah,
in the comic books that, you know, they don't want a character to come out like angels help them, dude, in the storyline now. I was showing you where an angel punches out a werewolf for him, basically. Remember that page I showed you? No?
Yeah, I do. I remember that. That was incredible. Yeah,
I mean, do you like my comic books or no?
I love it. I really love your comic book. It's
no, you don't. I mean, no, I don't. I mean, if you hate it, is it fucking? Is it stupid?
It's as good as. It's better than. It's my favorite. It's my favorite of all the movies. It would be like a fucking.
Nut Job would be an awesome movie, huh?
It'd be like Punisher meets, you know, Captain America.
Yeah.
Meets Batman. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meets Iron Man. You know.
Yeah.
I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
It's like it's. But you know,
it's for real. He's a poor guy. He's not some.
Yeah.
You know, the characters are always either rich or they work with the commissioner or they, you know, they won't. It seems like nobody wants to present this idea that there's any corruption in government.
Yeah, right. I think the thing that's just
what's wrong
close to it.
As they all lament all the corruption in our government.
It's Cobra Kai is close to it.
I live in an insane nation.
It kind of reminds me of a guy like the guy who's from the Cobra Kai side. You know, what he's gone through. You know.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, except he had children. You know. And I don't even know. I don't know the story of Cobra Kai, but I know a little. I saw the first couple episodes and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome too. The Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, stuff. I like how they really wrote that really well.
Yeah, that went. You know, it's just like years later kind of thing. You know, with your idea, it's like there could be so much of that stuff going on. Like there could be years earlier, or there could be, you know.
What's up, Chad? Hey, Cave Creature.
For the next generation. Hey, Chad.
Chad Middleton is one of my subs, I think. Cave Creature is one of my subs. It's good to see you guys. I'm starting the podcast a little early. I got my friend. I'm just detailing the sketch of Nut Job fighting a giant. You guys like it? Hit the like button. Unless you think you can draw better than that. I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you guys could draw better than that. See all the detail I got in there now? Shaping up, man. His armor, all the the joints and everything. I got to figure out, you know, what I'm going to do with this Giants. Armor, basically, but, you know. before I decide, I'll do some character sketches. I don't want to like. I do got to darken some of these lines though, so I don't lose them. I want the giant to be kind of like he lives out in the woods and shit, so I don't want him to look too technological. It's like basically the end times, and there's all this shit roaming around, and people are terrified. There's like shit released from that nobody's ever seen, like roaming around. And he's just all armored up and he's fighting as best he can with angels. Angels are helping him, basically. That's my character. It's a beautiful day up here, huh? Here, I'm working on.
Stay away from society. Good day to be outside.
I really have to simplify my detail too, you know, Sky, because I don't have a lot of time. Yeah. You know, I can't be doing like realistic. I can't sit around for 8 hours and work on a page. I got to be able to bust out a page and like. That's why I love 90s style. You know, it's flashy. It works. This shadow a little bit. You know, you just manipulate the lighting to like, you know, you have to kind of. There's a general rule of thumb with the lighting, but. You can manipulate it a little bit. I have better control than that. Yeah, that's good, actually. Anybody got any questions? I'm going to look in the chat from time to time here. I'm doing some detail and then I'm showing you what I'm doing. You can see the difference if you watch the video. You can see the subtle changes as I move around. I'll do this live pretty soon too. I want to get set up a little better, but right now I'm doing this for free. You could donate if you want to help me move this project along a little quicker and get another comic book out there for Comicsgate. I'm not trying to social climb. I'm trying to find out what the truth is going on. And I see these big YouTubers, they don't want to help anybody else, but then they want to complain about how some other bigger YouTuber won't help them. You know what I'm saying? That's hypocritical, is it not? Isn't that not hypocritical? Yeah. I'm sick of hypocrisy. I'm sick of dishonesty. I'm sick of lying. I'm sick of watered down Christians.
They took my car away yesterday.
Yeah, my friend took it. They 3 feet from his driveway, his wheel fell off.
I'm on the road.
The cop wouldn't let him. The cop wouldn't let him just. The tow truck just put it in his driveway and maybe pay him later.
Wouldn't make the tow truck do that or anything. No, I had to have $180.
He had to have $180 just to get his car 3 feet into the driveway.
It's all right. I paid $900 for the car last week.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Fuck it, no big deal.
I know, right?
I could have really fixed that up and made it nice. I was trying a little bit at a time, but it's hard. An economy
where there's hardly any jobs. Or jobs that can even, work around or that can afford a decent lifestyle. I'm lucky to have the job I have.
Yeah, my finances are pretty bad, but I can't pay all my bills, but yeah. We need to live with somebody else to help out one way or another.
Yeah, anybody who thinks that some hero can just come, I mean, maybe in your comic book, that some hero can come along and start saving everybody, and the powers that be, meaning the establishment, meaning the police. It's kind of like, imagine Hulk, but if without the Hulk doing anything wrong. The government, at the very least, would want to, trust me, man, it wouldn't work out the way you wanted it to.
I still can smile.
You'd have the police down your throat. It'd be more like Spider-Man. How the police don't they hate Spider-Man, who is kind of monstrous actually. Spider-Man is kind of a fucking monster. To tell you the truth, even though he's half human or whatever. This would all be. There, okay, so there. You can see I really did the details on his knees and legs. I'm working on his left arm there. His left forearm guard has claws don't come out of there. Basically tasers. I don't want to touch my screen here. Tasers or different things come out of whatever he's got all kinds of stuff in his armor here. There he is, man. Okay, I'm going to start tracing. Where's that page?
The ground.
So anyway, we got 2 viewers. Sorry, people. I'm just looking for some. I'm looking for some drawing papers.
Hello, viewers.
Not on a cat. My cat. I got a cat. Looking for some scrap paper. Incredible. I brought home whole chunks of All right. Any questions? I'm going to go to the Chad's here. Cave Creature Cross just jumped in. It's good to see you all. Yeah. Cross can jump in anytime he wants.
Hello, fellow Jedi.
I'll let Cross join us, sir.
No, I don't know.
Hang on. Yeah, no, he's a Christian.
You know what I mean.
Well, Cross is a Christian.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
From Canada.
Oh, nice. Oh.
There's the link if you want to come in, Cross. It'd help if you did come in actually, because then when I'm drawing, there could be somebody talking. If you want to come in, Cross, there's the link. Sounds like he's in.
Hello.
Yeah, he's in. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Okay, I'm just getting everything set up here
All right.
so I can see chats and all that. No, I did not want to expand it. I just want to get it off to the side. So what's new today?
Not much. I'm just kind of sitting here with my friend Sky, and I was showing people that I'm working. I kind of did a little bit more work on this page here where my character is fighting a giant.
Ah, cool.
And yeah, he's all geared up. Huh?
It looks good there. I was not sure whether you got my message the other day in the discussion. I'm trying to do myself up a version of job, but the only way I've got anything to refer to is off your streams and trying to get a good picture off that. It's hard. That's what I've got so far. So finish with slightly pencil.
Cool. I can see it right on. Yeah.
So if you've got any good drawings that you might be able to, email me or whatever.
Yeah, let me send
I can work off of to get the costume right or the armor right, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, absolutely. That's awesome, dude. So rad to see somebody else drawing nut job.
And I was out at a dollar joint place, a discount store. It's called Dollarama. And I got this little art kit. Not that I needed everything in it, except came with one thing, which made it worth it.
Which was?
This little mannequin that you can.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I wanted to get they have some of those mannequins now that they're expensive, but they're really like anatomically correct and stuff like that.
Yeah. This came in, like I said, a set, and it was like only $4.
That's awesome, dude. No, that's better than nothing.
That's like, it came with 3 pencils, an eraser, sharpener, 2 charcoal pencils, a pencil holder or traveling pencil holder, and that mannequin. I only bought it because of the mannequin. $4 for that is a good deal, in my opinion.
Right, that's excellent deal. I'll probably before I finally put the finishing touches on my first 5 pages here, I'll probably go pick up some action figures or something that are at least as close to what I'm doing as possible. So
I've got those too.
Yeah, I'll set them up with lamps, and I'm just kind of right now I'm really playing around with kind of the style I want to go with and everything. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure it's good before I put it in cement. I want to be happy with it anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I'll send you some character sketches. Other than that, I was just kind of talking about social climbing and how my mother taught me not to be a social climber and to use people to climb my way up and get to, you know what I mean, and get to certain goals that I want for me personally, for me. You know what I mean? And I'm not, I feel like I wanted to kind of bring up, that made me a better person, I thought, in life, was not to social. You know how you and I have a mutual agreement? We're like, if you get bigger or I get bigger, then we'll just keep promoting each other and switching channels and stuff. Like, we already have a plan for it.
Cool.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand, like, I hear these other YouTubers. I hear them.
We're on the ground level here.
Well, I've also watched. I have some YouTubers that I like to watch that show pretty good evidence that YouTube and this is pretty obvious unless you're completely naive, that the CIA and certain groups have already infiltrated YouTube at the highest level. So there's already like these people with 25 million viewers and all this stuff. This kid pointed out like similarities in all their channels that are weird and make him suspect that there's foul play going on and stuff like that. And then I think
I was gonna say sometimes the view depends on how many subscribers they have, and then the thing is with subscribers, I've got 2 accounts here on Google, YouTube, because I didn't realize or I didn't know how to have my 2 channel. I have 2 channels, and I didn't know how to have them off the same thing. So I've got 2 different accounts, and you can sub from each account. And if you view it from each account,
Yep.
I'm one person, I view it from each account, there's 2 views. And then
Yep.
it seems like if you go in for 5 seconds, that counts as a view.
Yep. Yep.
You don't have to watch the whole thing for it to be counted as a view. So who knows how many people are going in with their clickbait for, like 10 seconds or a minute or something like that, not watching their whole thing.
Yep. Yeah, there can be all these different variables, but I also understand that like people in certain places of power aren't going to just easily give up those places of power.
True.
And there's certain all right, like one of the best ways to control people's minds is not with guns and tanks and war, but with propaganda. So you take a role model and you study these behavioral sciences and all this stuff, and marketers do all this stuff. And then you take this certain role model that you get, that they find these people, they do tests to find out how much appeal they have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I already know this all goes on. Like you can go to Alex Jones used to cover this stuff all the time. How at universities they have secret parts in these universities, what labs where they study what we're talking about right now, behavioral sciences, and they have animals hooked up to all these wires, having them watch television screens and stuff like that, and so it gets really deep. And I know this stuff goes on, and that the people that like to control everything, they get in on these networks, and that it's already been proven that
there's
Facebook,
definitely sponsors for the higher up peoples or whatever, because or some of the higher up people in YouTube or whatever, because how do I put it? Well, I think Mark Dice covers a lot too, but I mean, the more popular you are, the algorithms, or then again, sometimes they censor people like Mark Dice, his view count is 25,000 or something like that, and yet they put him at the bottom of the list to somebody who's only got like 10 views. It's like 10 subscribers. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I don't want to complain because I'm working my way up too. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
This is my point. Like I'm always in these weird positions where like I'll be on a college campus. I'll be talking about something like Alex Jones before a lot of people are ready for it. I get a lot of whatever. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. And then I'm like, no, really. And then everyone's all like, oh, yeah, ooh, I don't want to get involved. And then all of a sudden I'm like a tar baby. Nobody wants to touch me, right? Then like later on, 5 years later, it comes out and and everyone's acting like I'm the devil. Then some black kid needs help on that campus, and I'm not one of these spoiled yuppies whose parents pay for everything and a car and nice clothes. And I know what it's like to live, to be eating crap, basically. If you want to put it away, eating. I want to say eating SHIT, and just as a eating bitter or whatever you want to call it, generally in life. And then all these people that are trying to make me look like the bad guy because I'm talking about something ahead of their time, because I'm just saying I'm pretty well read and researched. Even though they tried to fail me out of school and stuff. All of a sudden, that black kid, he can't find nowhere to stay on the entire campus until he comes to me. And then I give him a place to stay. And everyone's like, oh, and everyone's, and that doesn't help me. That it's like people then get mad at me even more. Then 5 years down the road, after I've all the professors have snubbed me, done everything they can to fucking make me look bad. The students all hate me, and and I basically leave that college because I don't like to be where I'm not wanted, and I don't. Then people that I told stuff 5 years ago that got mad at me, now it's out in mainstream media, come to me and forget the whole thing, that it's like they have amnesia, and tell me like they're telling me something new. And then I have to be a good Christian and have grace and not punch them in the nose and be like, oh, really? Oh, no, that you found that out. That's, oh,
you
no.
can say, no, that's when you just nicely remind them. I told you this like 5 years ago when we had this conversation.
I'm just saying, like, I can't. That makes me understand why this country is crashing and burning right now.
Yeah. And then a college campus isn't the best place for a conservative or a Christian or whatever either nowadays. Probably wasn't 5 years ago either. And
that people who are just all talk make it to the top, and that people who are really helpful and care about what's going on are getting crucified, scorned. And then when one of them goes in somewhere with a gun and blows everybody away because he has no future, like, I can fall back on my family. What if I was a foster kid that was this smart and this was being done to me and I had nothing to fall back on? You know what I'm saying? I was homeless because of this.
But it's not these.
Then I was being treated like a kook, and they were trying to put me on medication and everything that made me live in some other reality. What's to say I wouldn't done something horrible already?
Yeah, but most of these ones that are going out and doing any of that shooting, they're already. I'm not sure how to put it. They haven't been taught right, or like take the thing a few months ago with that kid that. Well, he wasn't a kid or whatever he was, how old he was. Forget where it was in the States, The FBI knew about him. All these people knew about him. He was mentally unstable, yet he wasn't put away or anything, Yeah. What did they expect to happen, Some guy that's not mentally stable,
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah. No, I'm saying.
Then, if I was going to say, if somebody wants to get a gun, you know what? There's different ways of getting a gun, No more gun laws is going to stop, somebody from, robbing a house and getting a gun that way.
Exactly.
Yep. And then in the case that,
or going to some black market person, paying a couple bucks more.
And then in the case that one of society's wind-up toys does go on a suicide mission, then we can stop them. But I'm saying this society is creating monsters, man. I'm telling you, I watch it happen.
Yeah,
I remember in high school seeing kids get beat up for nothing, like get totally humiliated because they couldn't afford Levi's and they had to back then.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, if you couldn't buy Levi's and you showed up with Wranglers, you could just end up being a total dork and getting punched in the face in the fucking cafeteria. Have a bloody.
Yeah, just because you're poor.
Which is assault, which gives you the right.
Chad.
Which, in my opinion, gives you the right to. If somebody's assaulting you because you're poor, I say you have the right to use force to the point of lethal force on that person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that you can continue your education without threat. But they won't let you do that. You'll get brought down the office and they'll say, well, it doesn't matter.
You get in more trouble than the guy that started it.
Right. You'll be told it doesn't matter who started it and all this ambiguousness. And I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of these big YouTubers that won't help me. I hear them saying, well, you got to be nice to me. Then I hear them turn around and be like, hey, this other YouTuber, he's got 25 million viewers, but for some reason, he won't help me. He doesn't like me. I don't know. I keep trying and trying. And I'm like, oh, because he's a psyop or something, maybe. Or he just doesn't like, or he's, maybe you need to be more nice to him. I mean, it's all just, we got to stop all this nonsense and be truthful. Everybody's got to be truthful and on the up and up and just say what's on our hearts and stop without, I want to talk about the Nazi dilemma too, but I don't want to talk about that right now because we're already on other stuff. I don't want to keep skipping around too much. But
hello, Warrior. Good to see it. And Chad, I'm not sure whether you heard me.
We got another viewer. This is cool. For people that want to talk about real, MGTOW Warrior shows up. Hey, man. Yeah, he's cool. I know who MGTOW Warrior is. I still watch his videos. I'm doing some comic book art. Look at this. It's got this. My character's fighting a giant in a downtown area that gets through the blockades, or is let through the blockades by the people higher up in the town, I should say. It's all like a farce. Like there. I don't want to get too much into it, but the storyline in mine is where like pretty much it's bedlam now, and some people that don't want to take the mark or the microchip implant live outside the cities, but it's unsafe because the government purposely released all these like new weird scientific creations to run around out there. So if you're not protected by God, you're gonna die basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just continually walk around and hunt people down and kill them. And Nutjob lives out there, and it's like Road Warrior. There's gangs. People that do live out there tend to live in little gangs and that like roaming gangs and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I have going on. It's basically end times Revelations type stuff. Is your comic taking place in end times or no?
Well, mine are taking place in quote unquote present day. I've thought about doing something for the Tribulation, and then I have a set of characters that I've done the whole spectrum, so to speak. I've got my World War II superheroes. I've got modern day. I'm not sure about the Tribulation. I was thinking about doing something for that. And then I've got, after the 1,000-year reign of Christ, how Satan's supposed to be loose for a little season. I've got characters in that little season.
Nice.
And we're not told how long that little season's supposed to be, so I figured set up my quote-unquote legion of superheroes. Like DC has their future ones like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a legion of superheroes. It's called Rogue Force. What is yours called?
Well, my main one for modern day is the Holy Warriors.
Cool. Yeah. The Tribulation would be actually, that's pretty much, like end times tribulation. Yeah. That's when things are like, supposedly super dark and a lot of suffering going on.
No, I haven't, Chad. Tell us about it. Chad's asking whether we've heard of Tinder Trap that happened in New York. I know I haven't heard of it. So
thanks, MGTOW Warrior. Chad, Dave Batista is blaming everyone for the delay of Guardian 3. You guys heard of the Tinder Trap? What's the Tinder Trap that happened in New York? What is that, Cross?
No, it's not me. Chad said this.
Yeah.
You guys heard of the Tinder Trap that happened in New York? I haven't heard of it.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up on YouTube. Okay. The Tinder Trap. Created, directed, produced by the Tinder Thirst Trap Social Experiment. Oh, it's a social experiment. I love social experiments. I want to check that out. Huh?
Is it on YouTube or?
Yeah, woman tricks group of Tinder matches into mass date in New York. So all her dates show up. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I believe it, man. Men are thirsty as hell right now because they can't find wives. I'm not going to let that guy in. It's that black dude. don't know.
Nothing against black people.
I
just don't know this guy. I know some really cool black dudes.
We hang out with black dudes.
Yeah, we hang out.
Like Rudy.
We have plenty of, yeah, Rudy, for example, is probably one of the. He's a wise motherfucker. He's wise.
So anyway,
Wise man.
no, I don't know that guy at all. I don't trust him. And he won't go away. I told him I don't trust him, and he won't go away. I got this guy, this neighbor from up the road. He's not a neighbor. I guess he says he's already told me all these different stories and blah blah blah, and then he's told me 3 different names. And then I finally I was like with my friend here, because everybody knows I grow medical marijuana. I have a small medical marijuana garden, and I was like, dude, sorry, I got medical pot growing here. I don't trust anybody. I'm not looking to meet anybody new, and sorry, and he won't get the hint. He keeps knocking on my door, so now I just don't even answer it. It's like, what the hell, man? It's like, go away. It's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. My dog barks, and people generally leave because they don't want to hear my dog bark. We got 4 viewers. No, men are thirsty, and I talked to you a little bit about this. There's so many men in the church that can't find wives, and someone would be like, "Oh, well, they're a bunch of pussies." Then no, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of the taunting and the man up and the taunting. Where does that end? Oh, you got to be a real man and do what? Punch people in the nose and go to jail? What do they mean? What do they mean by real man? Real man means, oh, you work and you pay your bills and you take care of your business. You take care of your business. That's all. That, you know what I mean? You be vigilant, and if you have a family, you take care of it. You help take. Nowadays, I hate to say it, women want to talk about being intimidated by men. I think, or men being intimidated by women. I think it's the other way around. No more are the days of like, hey, I got a bachelor's and my wife here, she's not just a pretty face, she has an associate's. No, I think your wife will. I think if you outshine a woman now, they're gonna think about the pay gap and the white male privilege you have, and all the alleged breaks you've had in her mind. And if you're good in bed, like all these people are like, oh, man up, be good in bed. No, I think if you're really good in bed, I think she's going to think about how you're probably cheating on her all the time now. Only because of the media and the way the media talks about men. And I'm sick of that too, by the way. I'm sick of that too, by the way.
Yeah, especially the mainstream media.
Yeah.
Like CNN or MSN.
Yeah, and people want to talk about how porn only makes porn. People want to talk about how porn only makes women feel inadequate and they can't compete with it. Well, not every man has a 9-inch penis and can keep a full hard erection for an hour of banging, of quote banging. I'm sick of all that terminology too, by the way, because that refers to the woman almost as an enemy. Did you bang her? Did you crush it? Did you kill it? Did you slay it? Did you know what I mean? Did you beast her down? Did you beast F her? You know what I mean? All that terminology. Yeah. It's like weaponized terminology. It's almost like some homo. Like what? They're our enemy and you're a homo, basically. So, I'm just saying, like, everybody's mixed up, and I talk about these things, and therefore I feel like I'm ignored and censored a lot. But whatever, I don't care. You're my friend. What? I keep forgetting your real name, and I keep calling you Cross. It's
That's all right. I'll respond. But it's Rick.
It's Rick.
It's the King Richard, the Lionhearted. And you are Stuart. I think I figured out who I was confusing you with the other day when I thought Jimmy. Somebody else I've interacted with on YouTube here.
Yeah, somebody's. I like this. This is a little bit simplified, but this is kind of the armor design that I'm going with. But I've just added a little more. I've really kind of Rob Liefelded it up like here with the big giant rifle on his back. Basically,
Yeah.
So the rifle shoots like it's like a semi-auto shotgun that's like tube fed. So basically,
So you almost go. I'd say from the look of it, you're almost going a War Machine type character.
yeah, basically, yeah. Well, which is funny, and I talked about that in a video where I came on here talking about, oh, my character is basically Punisher crossed with Iron Man. I said that a few times, and then what happened? Marvel gave Punisher the War Machine armor. And I was like, oh, isn't that, that's what I'm talking about. I did a whole episode on, even if you don't get robbed, it's like your energy gets out there or word gets around or something. You know what I mean? Something happens because I've seen my friend has lost several characters. He lost Shocker because he had a comic book killer horror character. It was really funny, kind of, but it was all, it was in high school. It wasn't well drawn, but it was wicked gory and violent, which made it entertaining, right? It was just kind of funny. But the character was called Shocker. Then he lost a character named Midas. Then he lost Shadowhawk. He came up with Shadowhawk, and then the infamous Shadowhawk came out, and he lost
stuff like that. You just gotta. It's not so much you lose a character; you have to rename.
Yes.
Because Shocker, well, I'm not sure when. Shocker's been around for quite some time. I know that.
I don't want to always look on the bright side. No, he could be a millionaire if he had money to begin with. My friend Phil.
Yeah.
Oh, by coincidence, my friend Phil being the black kid in my high school graduating class that couldn't find anywhere to stay except with me, the asshole, by the way, and who's still best friends with me on Facebook. And I went shooting with the other day down at the range because he was able to graduate high school and join the military without his stepdad stabbing him in his sleep or something like that. So but anyway, my point, and I was the big asshole in my high school class that nobody liked either, and that so whatever, man. And but yeah, he the funny thing is Shadowhawk was a mixture of the symbiote for Black Spider-Man and I don't know. Okay, Shadowhawk was like a Grim Reaper looking character with a point on the hood, and you could see his eyes glowing, and he was almost like a phantom looking thing, and a big cape that kind of had hooks hooked in at the shoulders like claws and all this. It was pretty cool. And what it was is this kid is sleeping, and then an alien, like a alien life form, comes down, and it's this black ball. And the kid is like, he like panics, and when he opens his mouth, the black ball just went right down his throat, and it became part of the kid, and it turned him into this superhero called Shadowhawk. So he lost so it was kind of like Black Spider-Man and Shadowhawk were like a mixture of his character. It was so funny.
Well, actually, it sounds more like a cross between the symbiont Spider-Man, as you were saying, and maybe Blue Beetle, because more recent Blue Beetle,
or Moon
because
Knight.
that becomes ingrained on his back.
Yep.
That's cool, man. I like that.
I just watched. He was so disappointed, and I was like, "Phil, man, I'm sorry, bro." But because he was really. But
I don't think the Shadowhawk that they brought out was anything like that. I think I've read a couple of them.
I hear you. It's not like he specifically got ripped off or anything. I'm just saying, man.
Unfortunately, names are a dime a dozen.
That money. I'm saying money. He could have immediately copyrighted all this stuff, paid artists to do it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nobody would have been able to take that from him. but he was a. I'm just saying, man, they waste your time in high school. That kid could be a millionaire and not have had to join the military and not. And they did the same thing to me. I was like, I want to be a comic illustrator. Me and him were friends. Me and him were friends, and we both wanted to be comic illustrators. And they were just like, nope. So, oh, sorry. They were like, what do you want? America is cool. You can do whatever you want with your life. What do you want to do? I want to be a comic book illustrator. Well, not that. Sorry. So anyway, what do you want to do with your life? I was like, shut up, man. You know what I mean? I was like, that's
yeah.
I was
well,
like,
it's definitely hard to break into the business, and since I've created like I said, started creating my universe when I was, in my early teens or mid-teens or somewhere around there.
yeah.
And I haven't got as good as I should in my art. I'm always improving, and I know I can get better. And like I said,
I'm going to be honest. I feel. I'm not saying I'm fucking fantastic. I feel, I might be. I might be a little ahead of you, but I like your art, and I really like your concepts. I feel almost like you probably see that's what I'm talking about. We've already talked about it. Money. It's a good thing that you're already established now on YouTube now and have all the videos because
I just wish I would have done this started years ago.
Yeah,
but then again, the thing that's really helping me lately is getting that Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
It's helping me remaster all my stuff. I'm a one-man show, really. So I've got to do my coloring, which I'm shit at. I gotta do my inking, which again I'm shit at. Or crappy at, however you want to say it. I've worked on my penciling, and if I just sat for an hour and not hurried myself, I know I can do a very excellent drawing. Probably very close to the qualities of DC or Marvel. My other problem is I haven't studied the anatomy like I should.
Yeah, have you looked at Brian Proctor at all? I told you.
I've watched one or two of his things,
and there's also Robert Marzullo. Mike Miller, that's doing Lone Stars, drawing live now. He's incredible. I
watch him a lot, and I learn from him. Heck, even just watching Ethan and him in the last 6 months or so. I think it's helped improve my inking a little.
Yeah.
So, the cross hatching and all that.
I'm going to try to switch accounts here for a second. So don't, if something happens, just, don't go anywhere. I don't think it shouldn't.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Hopefully it shouldn't affect anything. Creator. Trying to see if there's there's no videos up here at all. So I'm trying to see if I saved. I wanted to show you something. I don't know if I still have it though. A video. I don't know how many pages of videos I have here. Sorry, Sky. I'll be right with you. I'm going to take a break in a minute. Okay, cool. I do. So here's some of my 3D mod. I made my own little video game level and ran around it and stuff. I want you to see some of my screen shares, or I'm going to screen share. I want you to see some of my, this is just the stuff I'm capable of that nobody seems to. I put it out there to all these people, and nobody I think people want to compete with me instead of help me. I swear to God. But okay, here's this reel right here.
I won't be able to hear it, but that's pretty good.
There's one of my models. There's one of my models.
Those are good.
There's one of my, There's one of my flying games. I'm playing it right there on camera.
That's cool.
Those are good models. I wish I could get that good. I need a good computer though.
There's some of my head models. There's me rendering.
What program are you using there?
There's the pilot. So here's me rendering the pilot.
Yeah.
Now here's the pilot in the game. See, there's a little view of the cockpit with the pilot.
Yeah, I see that. That's cool.
I have a camera in the ship. Here, let me turn this down. So I have a little what do you call it? Cockpit cam on the pilot.
Yeah.
This is just me playing around making video games in my living room on a really crappy laptop with no money and free programs. And it seems like I can't. I'm telling you, man, there's something going on to where I'm telling you, man, I feel there's some ceiling that I can't break through, and I don't understand what the reason is for it. Let me see if I got.
What program were you using there to make that?
Unity and 3D Studio Max. Here's one of my characters walking, running. It's not the best. It was just, me testing it like really quick. But and here's like, I was gonna try to make a little role playing. There's me jumping and stuff. I was gonna make like a little role playing video.
Wow.
I was just trying to get it in the game and get it walking. And then later I made the animations better. But yeah, I went to school for all that, and
Oh, you went to school for this?
Yeah, my parents spent my parents are veterans. They spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of their nest egg even though the school system tried to screw me in high school, to go around it and send me to college because I got my GED fine. I'm not retarded. I'm telling you, there is something wrong with this system. And my father, who's a veteran, has had to read in the paper while he's paying me to go to college that professors at colleges are talking about how young white males are pieces of crap. And we all need
because of affirmative action, white males have become a minority.
And no, they say we're a majority.
Yeah, they say we're a majority, but if you add up probably all the minority stuff, the women, that ends up making us a minority when you have affirmative action.
So my point being is, here I am. I'm able to. People want to act like I need to work harder. Listen, people
what are you looking for?
Everybody, listen. All you viewers,
I haven't done the live stream for it yet.
No, I'm just messing around. So
I got one there. I got him up on the screen. And
that's from that's from a different time. I'm live streaming on Action Artists.
All right, so I canceled, or I'm not.
Sorry about that.
So my point is,
where you going with my cotton candy?
So Rick,
I'm coming in the room to steal my cotton candy.
So Rick, check this out. I got people that I have to go through with gatekeepers. Tell me I need to work harder, be more serious. As I'm producing all this cool artwork that that people around here love, and are like, and see my video games and are like, man, why aren't you working? And I go, because when I approach the gatekeepers that allow all these people in, they act like I'm not good enough. And I don't know. And I know that I am. Then when I get a bad attitude later because I know something's going on, but I can't prove what it is, then they say, oh, well, he had a bad attitude and he called us some names. So they're putting the horse before the cart instead of the cart. Instead of the cart.
How long did it take you to create your characters in Unity?
A few days, couple days. I can model a character in a few days and texture it. And to texture it, I would say like a couple weeks to then another couple weeks to texture it and all and do all the, because you either got to take photos of or find samples of like clothing and all this stuff. Like you want the top to look, if you're doing a barbarian and you want, leather and skins and stuff like that, you got to find all the textures either free online or you got to have them. You have to have access to them so you can take pictures.
Give me a minute. I gotta go say hi to a friend. He just came in. He's gonna be entertained by my. I'm still gonna be here. I'm just gonna be for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
All right, cool. Yep.
Hey.
All right. Rick's gonna take a small break. And I've showed myself. Look at, I've showed these video games live, and I have one viewer, and it's us basically. Do you believe that? Right. Do you believe that?
Yeah, right.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but everyone can say, "Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist" or whatever. Yeah. Nope. No. So anyway, I'm gonna switch accounts back to
your other one. What's the other one called?
The Action Artist.
Oh, the Action. What account is this?
This is my MGTOW account.
Oh. Okay.
Which, before I converted it over to MGTOW, I had some video game. I was trying to promote a video game and garner support for that. Nothing. Yeah, right, you know what I mean? It's just, I gotta develop a video game channel for 10 years, then I gotta develop a comic book channel for 10 years. Well, before I do all that, how about I do a Help for Men channel? So I'm always trying to do the right thing first before I take care of myself. You know what I mean? And I've built in the past 3 years. I've built my MGTOW channel.
Yeah, you really have worked hard.
Now all of a sudden,
the block before you get subscribers, right before. You got just below what you need, right, Stu?
Yep.
It's bullshit.
Switch account and going back.
That's funny how that works, huh?
Yep. All right, I'm just getting back onto the notification. Gary Shipman's was on 1 hour ago. Gary Shipman's a good artist.
He's great.
These are all good artists. Yeah. I got I can't like sit around and say any of them. Like, these artists that I talk about in Comics Day, it's not like I can sit around and say they suck or anything. They're definitely.
Go have a seat, Gord.
Hey, bud.
He can't see you. Once you sit down in the background, I'll say something.
But I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure.
She's gonna come in my room. Yeah, I know. But,
I've
seen her come in and grab it. Didn't bother you?
Not really. Change the rules.
Only $1.25 and go buy more if I want. Well, you didn't have any money. I said I didn't have like $20. I have like maybe $10 in the bank. I seen your bank account number 2 years ago. You had $2,000. Yeah, I wish.
2 years ago.
I just rolled a
2,000 don't last long.
I just rolled that.
A couple of months of rent, maybe. Some bills.
I am back.
All right, hang on.
My friend's here too.
We're gonna take a break if you wanna. We're gonna take a little break if you wanna promote your comic book a little. Go ahead.
Okay.
Screen share.
Not that there's many people in here. I think everybody that's in here already knows. I'm Cross Comics. You can call me Rick. I have my own channel, Cross Comics. It's all about my comics. I do a little bit of other stuff. Not much. Just mainly stuff on comics. Or something to do with comics. Like, I have a couple of videos about the Supergirl show. And if you want to subscribe, hey, fine. And it's Christian based, so, you can always go check that out. for who's ever watching, which I don't think we have anybody watching because we only have 2 people watching, and I think I'm one, and he might be the other. Who's all in the chat? Sound off. Roll call. He might be able to, but he's doing something at the moment, so I'm trying to entertain his clientele. Although I'm not sure whether I am. I'm not sure whether there's anybody to entertain. That's all right. We're just having a leisure time talking. Not like I'm doing a specific thing at the moment. Like my videos for, my snacks or whatever.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just...
I got till 9 o'clock tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh.
The only thing that you might have to watch is what you say about yourself, because it's how much you want people to know. Yeah, that's the guy that I'm chatting with. He has his own comic books. He calls himself Signal Comic. Signal? Yeah, Signal Comic. Yeah, so that means you got to leave here, what, 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you like my new little thing that helped me draw a little bit?
All right, I'm back. Thank you.
Ah!
It's the action artist.
No, I'm just kidding. Meet my friend Gord. He's in the background there, if you can see him.
Oh.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you.
He just came over, so I figured he could sit in the background of my bed.
Yeah, what is his name? What is his
Gord.
name? Gord?
Yeah. Gord Brown.
Okay, this is Sky, and I'm Stuart. Nice to meet you, Gord.
Nice to meet you, man.
You can either call him Stuart or Action. Action Stuart.
Yeah, action. Basically action artist, as in I do action art. I wanted to show you a fight scene. I thought you might like, with my character in it.
You can't see from there, but in that little thing right there, see that right there? That's what he sees.
So basically, my character's wandering around out in the woods. He doesn't have his armor on because he doesn't want to look conspicuous. And he's not liked by the police, and he's not liked by the criminals because everybody thinks he's completely fucking crazy. And which he is crazy because he's like the sane one, but like the country's crazy. I'm sure you've probably talked about this aspect from your own life before, where you feel like you live like the lunatics are running the asylum, basically.
Yeah.
And so basically,
I wouldn't say the lunatics, but the people with no smarts, anyways.
Yeah, whatever they are, I don't give them any benefit of the doubt anymore because I don't get any benefit of the doubt. But anyway, My point being is, so he's trying to be inconspicuous, running around, and he finds an encampment of these like fugitive type people that are on the run. They don't want to be in town, but they don't want to be too far out of town. But then he finds out there are a bunch of scumbags too. There's like a drug dealer. There's like a level 2 or 3 sex offender that got out of prison for raping a kid, and he's selling drugs to a mother who's also bringing her young daughter around the guy. Basically, I don't get that deep into it, but if you're a smart reader, you'll figure out that this like drug addicted mother is pimping her daughter out to a sex offender. So anyway, here's it is. He finally gets tired. Like, he kind of baits them into a fight by saying something he knows they're gonna give him a hard time about. And he beats up and kills the sex offender. That's on another, and that's on another page. But then the drug dealer next to him is kind of like, man, you didn't have to do that. And he's like, and then right here he's just kind of like, oh yeah. And then he's just like, bah, 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 bah. He punches that guy like 3 times, like really hard in the solar plexus, and the dude, like, the beer's up in the air. Then he like kicks the guy right in the ear with his boots. And then he like picks the guy up by his rib cage and like tosses the guy like 15 feet in the air, like over his tent and and the guy hits a tree and falls upside down in the bushes, basically. Lands on his head and breaks his neck and is paralyzed back there and can't get up, basically. And there's a fight scene from Nut Job, and that's why it's called Nut Job.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
That's what people tell me. That's what everyone's like, that sounds fucking awesome, dude. And it deals, and I'm kind of really showing, it really mirrors. I don't know if you've been around. I don't know if you've ever been trying to do the right thing, living in a poor section of town, watching all the drama going on. But I'm pretty much really, am I writing this? No, I'm just mirroring reality of like the horrible crap that I see going on around me. But I'm making kind of a soup out of it and making my own twist on it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
That's my style of writing, basically.
Oh, we got 4 people here. Hello, who's ever new?
Yeah, we got some new people popping in.
They haven't said anything in the chat, but hello to new people.
So I know how to do do everything from 3D model all the way up to basic coding. I can't do really super intricate coding or anything like that, but I
can do some basic coding myself for websites. I think that's what you mean, or
yeah, and there's a lot of really cool people on the internet, thank God, that give away coding. So that flying game I made was like this dude on YouTube, and I think I gave him credit. I must have posted a link to him in the.
Oh, you mean coding for video games? That's
it's all basically true and false, and like what's called booleans, which is like, if this happens, then this happens. If this doesn't happen, then this doesn't happen.
I used to be better at some computer language. I learned a lot when in DOS, but now I'm so far behind.
Yeah. It's such a
maybe when I get some money, I might pay you to do some computer modeling of my characters. I'd like to have them in 3D.
Well, I would do I would turn Nut Job into a small, like, multi-tier game where you start out, you start piecing and building your armor together and fighting scumbags and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just like work your way up and start fighting like all these crazy bosses. You know what I mean? It'd be like a vigilante game, basically. I think it would be. I could see Insecto being a cool video game.
Yeah. The Holy Warriors.
The Holy Warrior.
Yeah.
don't forget the 100. I was thinking about dealing with the 144,000 and having them be like people with powers, basically. That
Well,
are.
you don't so much need them with powers because if you do, well, for the first 3.5 years, going by if pre-trib, you have the two witnesses. They can breathe fire and all this stuff, bring fire down from heaven. So
Yep.
there's a couple type superheroes, you know. You can have them going around. I know the Left Behind series had them mainly in Israel.
So something about Elijah coming back too, or something. I think in Revelation.
Well, most people believe that the two witnesses are Elijah and Moses.
Yes, that's
would have to disagree. Would disagree with the Moses part. I don't know where I read this, and I keep trying to find it, but I can't. As far as I know, the two witnesses are people that never died. So if you're going to take two people from the Bible, that would be Elijah and Enoch. Because Enoch walked with God and was not. Yeah, Elijah, as you know, got taken up in the whirlwind.
They were both already pictured, yeah.
Or there's a possibility it could be John, one of them, because there's something in the end of John. It was added long afterwards. At least that's what a footnote says about what if he were to stay alive till my kingdom comes in power. So that's an iffy one. We know what happened with Elijah and Enoch. Or, again, two people that never died could just be two people living at the time.
Yep. True. They either return or I don't know. I don't know about the incarnation thing though, like the reincarnation thing. I don't know.
No, they're not. It's not so much the reincarnated. The Elijah and Enoch.
Yeah.
Enoch walked and was not. So instead of him walking up to heaven, so to speak, he walks back down to earth. And Elijah, comes back in the whirlwind or whatever.
Right.
They gang up together.
That's what I'm saying. That's more the way I would do it, or
Or they more accurately, they just get beamed back down to earth. Beam us back down, Lord.
I don't know. There's like basically Revelations and like you were saying, the tribulation specifically period are. I mean, man, that's like a ripe plot for like storylines too.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I'm taking advantage of is like the mark where like it's all just basically kind of what's going on now and all the stuff that a lot of the conspiracy theorists talk about now. I'm just kind of moving it ahead in that same direction a few years from now and saying it's a little worse and just to set the stage for kind of like the background of the world that my comic is in. It's kind of like now a few years ahead of now.
Yeah, I've had the thought of doing writing 3 different type novel things or whatever.
Yeah.
One based on pre-trib, one based on mid-trib, and one based on post-trib. I'd like to see all the stuff we see for tribulation stuff is all pre-trib, and I'm open for that. I call myself a pan-tribber. It's all going to pan out the way that it is. And
Jesus said it would be like the days of Noah, and if you read the days of Noah, they were pretty crazy. So that's quite a bit of artistic license, which is why I'm saying in my universe, giants reemerge basically.
Yeah. So saying, I know there's, I think I'm more lean towards pre-trib, but like I said, I'm going when it happens. That's all that matters to me. If it's pre or post or whatever. And I know there's scriptures, or at least the interpretation of the scriptures, to back up all 3 points of view. I know there's more than 3 points of view, but those are the 3 main ones for, the quote-unquote rapture pre-trib in tribulation.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't know this, but I think what was his name? I think it might have been. It was the king of Babylon. Was it like Nebuchadnezzar or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of Rob Skiba before?
Rob Skiba?
Rob Skiba.
I don't think so.
Well, he's kind of a cool person to look up if you want to see a little bit of research on like the really early, like the days of Noah and Enoch. And he's put together, and you can go research, you know, you can go, his research is based on what research there is. You can go look it up,
yeah.
But he talks about how I think it was Jacob who sold his, Jacob and Esau, was it Jacob that sold his inheritance for a bowl of soup or something like that?
No, it was Esau that sold it to Jacob.
To Jacob. Okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me, because I haven't read a lot of the Bible in a while. I have read all. I mean, you know, I have pretty much read almost the entire Bible. Probably.
Well, in my 38 years of being a Christian, I have only read through the Bible once.
Yeah.
So I don't condemn it, and I'll admit that I don't read it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm personally
not a Bible expert here.
Yeah, I'm no Bible expert either. I don't claim to be, and I personally don't think everybody needs to read it on a daily basis. If you're a new Christian, yeah, it's probably a good idea. You want to get to know what you believe or what you're supposed to be believing.
Yeah, for sure. So,
you know, as the acronym for it, basic instructions before leaving Earth. Do you read an instruction manual every day?
So Esau, what a lot of people don't get into with Esau, like if you go to a mainstream Christian church, they're going to talk about that. But if you read a little before that, what Esau did was pretty amazing. He went out, found Nebuchadnezzar and some of the men with Nebuchadnezzar, and Nebuchadnezzar was of huge stature. I would say I would say a giant.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to find Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar wouldn't have been around then.
Or whoever was who founded Babylon.
Well, it wouldn't have been that guy either, or I don't think. You're probably thinking Nimrod.
Listen, Nimrod? Thank you, Nimrod, and it was Nimrod. No, it was Rob Skiba. You can go. Don't debate me. Go look at Rob. Go look at.
Yeah, I'm just going by what I know or what I think I know of the Bible, but
I knew it started with an N, but I couldn't remember. It was Nimrod. Nimrod was a mighty hunter and slayer of giants. The name itself means like giant killer, basically. And the reason that is because Nimrod himself was huge. And this is almost like this just gets brushed over in the Bible. Go look it up.
Yeah. Well, I know it says Nimrod was a mighty hunter before the Lord. I think that's how it words it.
I can stop talking.
And there's all sorts of interpretations of what that means.
I can stop talking in a second. Esau chopped Nimrod's head off and then was chased and had to hide from all his men for a while, and then came back absolutely exhausted and hungry and was just like, and then sold his inheritance.
Okay, well, that part's not in the Bible itself. The whole chasing him.
It sure is. It sure is. I'm telling you, it's not taught, and you can go look it up. It's all.
Yeah, well, I know the whole chasing isn't. It might be in somewhere else, some extra biblical. But I've read enough of Genesis enough times. That's not there.
Last I knew, it's there, and it's Basically, it's Old Testament. It's there.
Yeah, I know it's Old Testament. It's Genesis.
No, it doesn't say listen, it doesn't say basically he had to look up all these names and get the true original meanings and all this stuff of these names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't put it in the words that I said. If you do the research on it all, that is.
Oh yeah, research might tell you that. Yeah, I won't disagree with the research. I'm just saying the Bible it says doesn't necessarily say what he was doing before he came out.
No, it just says he beheaded Nimrod. That's basically all it says. It's in there. It's in there. I would bet it's in there. If not, I'm wrong. I'll check and come back later, but it just doesn't put it in all those words. And my point being is that was a pretty mighty feat of him. And so it's not like he just foolishly was like, oh man, he had, you really have to get the full context of the story, basically. And that's what I'm saying. The Bible is right with these types of things that a lot of people don't talk about. And you can watch Rob Skiba, and he explains it pretty thoroughly. I'm not saying I'm an expert though either.
Guess I'm no expert either.
Yeah, no, I don't know for sure either, but I know that the times that they were in, there was that type of stuff going on, according to even stuff that's
were there giants and stuff? Probably.
Exactly. Nimrod. Some people, I don't know. Nimrod is a very interesting character, and some people believe that Nimrod shows up by other name. I mean, this is all deep research on Rob Skiba's part, but he thinks that Nimrod showed up in other cultures, being called other names too. By the way, in other words, other cultures called him something else. Basically, it's pretty interesting. So, other than the Middle Eastern, I'm saying desert religion or whatever you want to call it, religions of the desert.
Yeah, there's the thing. In my opinion, it would not, from what we know, it would not have been, well, from the little bit that I've learned, I shouldn't say what we know. A guy I listen to a lot, I don't agree with him on everything, is Kent Hovind. I'm not sure whether you've heard of him.
Yeah, I do know who Kent Hovind is, absolutely, yeah.
He talks about...
He spent a lot of time in prison.
Yeah.
Unjustly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he talks about how desertification, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but basically the formation of deserts, the desert that we have, the most, longest desert we have is only goes up until the flood, about 4,400 years. So again, back then, if this is only 100 or 200 years after the flood, the deserts wouldn't have been that big if there was any had started by that time. So you would have had more wilderness than desert.
Mm-hmm.
And wilderness doesn't necessarily mean desert,
No.
In my not so humble opinion, and just sort of common sense logic. Okay. We always think Israel was always what it looked like today. Well, it was a land flowing with milk and honey. So the Israelites brought grapes the size of basketballs or baseballs, at least. It took two men to carry this bunch of grapes. I can carry a bunch of grapes in my hand nowadays.
Yep.
So, that land had to have looked a lot different back then.
Absolutely. I agree.
Just going by some common sense.
So, the Bible. That's why the Bible's very unexplored, and it's I would probably, if I did a comic book, I would probably have a disclaimer on the back, and I would give all the credit for it to my creator. My research concludes me to that the real name of God is not Yahweh, but it is Ahia, or Most High. And I wouldn't probably say that. I would just say I thank Jesus, and I think, because either way, the Western understanding here in America is just Jesus and God or the Father, you know what I mean? So I would just give credit to probably, I would say the Creator in Jesus or something like that, and say that it was influenced by Christianity, but in no means do I propose to claim that this should be looked at as like part of the Bible, or you know what I mean. I would probably have some kind of disclaimer like that in all my work, basically. You know.
Hold on a sec. Hey, Mike and Chad.
Yeah.
Who was Nimrod from the X-Men? He was a robot from the future, but I remember. A Sentinel type robot from the future.
Right.
And greetings to you, Mike, and salutations. And welcome back, Chad.
That's back in the house.
Yeah, see over here, Gord?
Hey, Hoth, Rebel.
That's anybody who wants to interact with us who's just watching us talk.
Mike has made a channel just to make me say Mike Hunt, basically. Yeah, greetings and salutations. And MGTOW Warrior was here, you know, Cave Creature was here. I don't know if they're all still here, but my friend Sky's jamming on guitar a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting when you get into Bible history. That's something that I like getting into now. You know, like I said, I've been serving Christ 38 years approximately. You know, I know a lot of the basic. Well, I know all the basic principles.
Did I say? Here, I don't know if I showed you this yet either, but I really want to kind of introduce the aspect that this is really, really rough. This is a really, really rough draft because I'm not committed to it yet, but it gets the point across.
Ooh, nice werewolf.
Yeah, so
looks like he could be wolfing.
Yeah, it comes at him. He gets surprised it's the first werewolf he's ever seen before one of the demonic people he corners shapeshifts on him into a demon, which is in the form of a werewolf, pins him down and is about to like claw him. Then you see a bolt of light strike the werewolf in the side and the head, and the werewolf comes flying into the foreground and hits a concrete doorway. Right near a concrete doorway, shatters the concrete, and you see an angel right here, and so it's just a stick figure right now. But so basically, the point is he's having help from God. He can't do it all himself. So when he encounters like certain creatures, you know, the angels show up and stuff. It's going to be pretty tight. And then he hears a voice that tells him this one has the information that you seek, and he stands up and kind of dusts himself off, and he goes over, and the angel just smited the demon. It didn't kill the criminal. So he grabs the criminal and ties him up and moves it's a corrupt cop, and then he takes the corrupt cop car and hides that. And then the main bad guy, who is like a pedophile homosexual character, shows up with his henchman in a limo that was supposed to meet the cop, and then it gets really crazy from there. Like the cop's not there, and they're like, nope, he's never missed a meeting, something's wrong. So the bad guys like make a double and create a story until we find out what's going on. So the next day, Nutjob gets up and he's like checking YouTube to see what the news is saying, because they always lie. And there's the cop that he has tied up on the news saying he had an altercation in an abandoned building with a criminal and was a terrorist or something. You know what I mean? Like a Christian terrorist or something like that. And so it really gets the point across early in the comic, like, whoa, that there's crazy stuff going on.
Opposite world.
Yeah.
Also a reflection of reality. You know?
What do you think of that little storyline?
Cool.
You've told it to me before, so you know I think it's all right. My buddies in the school.
Gord likes it. Awesome. And I think Gord would tell me if it sucks. I feel like Gord would be like, yeah, needs some work or something. But it does.
I love it, man.
All right, awesome. Because
We got Chad saying, there was 5 people in the chat, Chad. One of them's me because I'm watching on my tablet as well, just to know what's everybody's seeing.
You know,
as for my opinion on Batman being an atheist, I think it's the craziest thing in the world. Well, maybe not the craziest, but close to it. There's no way Batman would ever be an atheist.
I like the Christian.
At best.
I like the Christian Bale Batman, but the way he talks annoys me. He almost talks like a fucking rapist in that fucking movie. But other than that, it's a good movie. But it's I think it was better than I grew up on the Michael Keaton I grew up on the original Batman, the TV series. But I'm saying, as far as movies, we all would get together and what would we watch? We'd watch the Michael Keaton Batman and we'd like fucking gorge ourselves on soda pop and popcorn, but just stuff like that. But I was kind of happy when the Christian Bale one came out. I really loved his Batmobile and all that. Just was
the Bat Tumbler.
So awesome, to see that, to see it real.
I probably like that better than the Michael Keaton's because it's a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, it's just more realistic. Absolutely. More realistic, absolutely.
Well, it's not even that. As much as I think they also kept to the spirit of Batman in that, where as much as I like the Michael Keaton's ones, I don't think they really kept to the spirit of Batman's. Well, the first 2 they might have, but once they got to number 3 and number 4, for sure, they were way off for the spirit of Batman. Bringing in Robin, the way that they bring Robin in, he's like a 20-year-old kid. Yeah, Bruce Wayne's going to be the ward of a 20-year-old guy.
Yeah. It
just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah, true enough.
And then with the 4th one, they put Robin in the Nightwing costume. Basically, it's like, okay, you're really screwing stuff up. Stop making these movies.
I know it's hard. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, man.
Yeah, I like Ben, and I've liked Ben Affleck as Batman too. We got a comment about that too, so I figured I'd comment on it. But I can't wait to see what Ben Affleck is like in a Batman movie by himself. He's been in Justice League. He's been in Superman. Suicide Squad.
Is there one coming out with Ben Affleck? I haven't heard.
They're supposed to be in the next couple years. I'm not sure when exactly. I know it's scheduled, but then again, I've heard Ben Affleck wants to stop being Batman. It's just crazy.
I'll be Batman.
Yeah, right. They can make anybody a movie star. I swear to God.
Yeah. I don't mind Ben Affleck as Batman, and I think he did a good job as Daredevil. That script was just horrible for Daredevil when he did it. That wasn't his fault.
I still kind of liked Daredevil, though. I'm not saying it was fantastic, but, people diss the original Punisher, and I liked the original Punisher movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I think some people sometimes are also way overcritical, but but at the same time,
No, a movie that I didn't, 2 movies that I for sure didn't like for superhero type movies are the Catwoman movie and Elektra. They were just
Yeah, I would agree.
Compared to the Superman movie, all the movies we grew up with.
Yeah.
Really do it.
Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds was, I thought, all right. I just don't think Parallax should have been the villain.
It's hard for me to comment on DC. I I can't hear. You know what? I can't complain that I've never. You know, I get on here and bitch that I can't get an opportunity, but then I got an opportunity by DC, and they did like my art, but they wanted to make sure that I could draw DC characters, and I was like, God damn it, why you got to do that to me? Just hire. I'm like, I need money now, and these people think I can sit around. No, I got to survive. I got to eat and feed myself. Yeah. You like my art? Can you please just hire me? In fact, can you advance me $1,000? Yeah. But anyway, so I can sit around and draw perfect comic book pages for you. But anyway, they liked my art at DC, and they just were like,
that's when you take that's when you take a couple weeks and you just go and draw their characters and come back here.
See, you say that, but at that point, no. I'll tell you what, this time it wasn't DC's fault, and it wasn't necessarily my fault. Maybe it was a little bit of mine, but once again, well, let me explain. I was talking to the editor in his office at DC in New York City, and he was like, and I had a little black and white comic book like I like to make. Yeah. And he was like, no, this is all right. But can you draw a DC character? Or he goes, tell me what you think about DC. And when I was a kid, I could only afford a few comic books, and it was Marvel, right? And I'm like, the
old Supergirl movie.
And I was like, trying.
Oh my God!
And he knew right away. He was like, well, listen. He was like, here's a Superman script. Go home to wherever you are. You know, I didn't necessarily. You know, he didn't know where home was necessarily. And he's like, just come back whenever you want with 5 of your best pages of the script right here. He took it out of the filing cabinet. It was right there in his office. And he handed it to me. And then what happened is, I was in New York City, and my girlfriend I was staying with my girlfriend at a guy's apartment.
We got a little, not a lot.
I was staying with my girlfriend at this guy's apartment, and she had a falling out with the guy. So she left me there. I'm working on the pages for Superman. I had 2 of them done. They were looking sweet. I had them changing, and I had multiple fists, kind of like right here where I got him. I got what you see, multiple like fists and Steve. And, I had him changing out of a suit, and you can, with fists everywhere, and because that's what it said. So it showed him changing at super speed. Yeah. So I did that. Yeah. And then the girl I'm with, she gets in a fight with the guy that's giving us free rent in Brooklyn, in Park Slope, Brooklyn, a Jewish guy who was giving me a hand up. People want to talk shit about Jewish guys. Yeah, right. You can look him up. His name's Howard Bloom. Yeah. So she leaves. I think she said a bunch of bad stuff about me, and he wanted to have me beat up. So he said, if you don't leave right now, I'm going to call my mafia friends, he said on. And then I was like, no problem. I heard the word mafia, and I was like, no problem. See you later. And I got my shit together and went out in the snow, and the pages all got ruined. Yeah. Winter time. Then I barely made it to the bus station at 3 a.m. without being accosted by a homeless dude that jumped the turnstile chasing me. And then, but luckily, some lady did get involved and say she was calling the police, and he stopped chasing me. And I got home, and then later Howard called and apologized, and we talked to my mother, and I just was like, it didn't work it out, whatever. Thanks for trying to help me and everything, and da-da-da-da-da. So there's that, and I could probably still send DC the 5 pages, but I don't want to work for DC anymore because of all the I don't want to sell my soul to work for some company that weaponizes comics for children.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I said, I think I said in a different live stream, ever since I started coming up with my own characters, I've only ever wanted really to work for myself.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I know I've never really been any super good for, I know for quite some time I've been like arty level for old Archie level.
You'll,
Come.
all it takes is time and discipline, and
Yeah.
dude, there's really tricks to the anatomy, you know, like here, Scott, here, if you, I got a big chalkboard right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I use what's called, this is a Bart Sears method. I didn't make this up. It's called the potato sack method. If you can draw a potato sack in almost in any position, you can draw the torso. Then you just.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you can see. I usually get the torso and all that stuff pretty good. It's then coming up with putting the muscles in or whatever in the proper place.
Yeah, well, that's yeah, probably like, you know, here, like the shoulder, you know,
Oh, yeah.
comes down and it splits right down the middle, pretty much.
Nice meeting you, man.
You know, and
It's only half listening.
nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
Here,
Like there, like Chad.
yeah.
Then you got 3 main sections for the shoulder. I like. You know, these are all just tricks I use, basically. Like, I'll divide, look at right there, the shoulder, I'll divide it right down. Then you got, then this over, the bicep always tucks right into to those 2 muscles right there. But this is at a profile. Then this forearm kind of divides like a Y, like that. And then there's like, you know, you can put veins and tendons and everything there. Your elbow kind of comes down, pops in, and then there's like this muscle that curves down to your fist.
Hey, you know what you should do? This is something you should do. To do videos on doing stuff like that on your chalkboard.
Yeah,
Showing stuff like that. That could probably get you a lot of views on drawing.
it sure does, man. You know, I think I've done
I'm not
it.
sure whether you've done it before or not, but videos on how to draw certain things.
So to make a guy like leaning forward, you know, you basically, it's like a pillow almost. You basically, guys are wider at the top, you know, and then you see right here, you got a shoulder there. So if you wanted this arm to kind of come at you, you would do like this and bring it to a point, but then you would bring the bicep out. Or actually more like this, actually. You would go kind of like this and then bring the arm right like this towards you know, the viewer, basically.
Yeah.
And then like this would come in like this. And then like this, basically. And then you overlap your head. And then you know, basically the other shoulder would be somewhere over here. And your center line's important too, basically. But
Yeah.
you know, like there's you want to kind of put your center lines in, center line for the head, center line for the chest. So this arm, I made it so huge.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit huge for that body.
Yeah, so
That's like a Hulk size arm.
Just kind of slim it down. Say, you know what I mean? Like that, and then you know, you got his waist basically popping out there, and then you just kind of draw through. Like here's his crotch, so you know that, you know, his leg's gonna come down here basically, and that's a big cylinder, and then this leg is gonna come out over here somewhere basically. And you erase the lines, and then, you know, his fist is going to be right here. Basically, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
Then you can put some big hair on him. You know, like Nomad. Remember Nomad? Remember Captain America's
I've heard of him. I can't say I've read a lot of it.
He had his own title for a while, and it was really good. See, Nomad might be more comparable to like Nut Job.
Yeah, right.
He would, but see, they ruined him by making him, I think, like a drug addict or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Alcoholic loser type guy. See, Nut Job's not like that.
Yeah, right.
Everybody else are all the drug addicts and the losers and the alcoholics.
Yeah.
But Nomad was cool. He was basically home. I mean, he was a nomad. He would wander around and beat the shit out of bad guys. You know, so this is basically me. That's my method, is the pillow sack or the you know, and that's Bart Sears kind of, I think, was one of the first ones to do that. You can do it like here's another. So there's my pillow sack. Do my center line. Now I know where the chest is going to be, right here basically, and now I know where the nipple. You come down there to the nipple. That's where the rib cage starts, which goes almost up to where the line where the chest is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I said, what I would suggest for you, if you want, you probably get a lot more subscribers and views, especially, you know, wipe off that board and set it up to record on that, doing tutorials like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not sure how many you have, but if you have any doing this, but on that chalkboard doing this, you probably get tons of views, especially if you put in the title about it. And like I'm talking about, just recording, you know, you can do it live stream or you can do it not live stream.
Yeah, you can do specific parts of the anatomy, like the leg muscles or the neck muscles.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And draw it from different angles. No, I would love to. I should do more videos. I did do a few like that before, actually.
Yeah, but I think I'm not sure whether you did them on paper on that chalkboard, but I think people would love it up on that chalkboard like that.
Yeah.
You know, Hoth was just saying it was great to watch, and more videos like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'll do more of those if you'd like, Hoth. I'll clean off my chalkboard and I'll break out the white chalk and maybe some red too for you know, for corrections. You know, and because sometimes I'm not perfect either. You know, I make mistakes too. I just made a huge arm on a guy, but it's hard. It's hard sometimes to draw either too big or too small. It's weird when you're drawing too big. It's like you can't see the entire canvas, so your perspective's out of whack while you're drawing. You have to kind of step back and look at it. But yeah. Then you got to correct it as best you can. No, I'll do some more tutorials. I want to do tutorials. I really, like you, dude, I really need a tablet, boy. I'll tell you. I wish I had a good tablet, like a Wacom. I bet you the used ones from like a year ago or 2 years ago, they were really good then. I bet you a used one on Craigslist or something right now would actually be would be sufficient. You know,
I went to what was it, Best Buy, and I got one for like $120 Canadian. I think it'd be less in the States. I think it's under $100.
Right on, man.
And you know, I got it plugged into my. I've had it plugged into my main computer, but my main computer is a piece of. Right. And I got a laptop here, which I do all my 99% of my YouTubing on, and I've got it plugged into it. You know, I draw on it. You know, as you see with my live streams and all that. So you know, it was really worth the investment. I've been like I said, I was wanting to get one for years, and I finally, you know, hey, how much are these? You know, it's $100 or just over $100. You know. It's like, okay, I got to put this out. And well, I know for drawing on the computer, it's greatly improved, you know. Trying to do it with a mouse is like next to impossible. But it's almost no different than drawing on a piece of paper, you know, except instead of looking down on the tablet, you're looking on the screen and just letting your, you know, muscle memory, if you will, watching what you're doing on the screen, just moving your hands. Yeah. And it forms to the screen size too, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Not to cut everybody short, but it's time for me to cook some dinner. So I have to, and I got to feed my dog and walk my dog and stuff too, and take my laundry in and da 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 da. So.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to come over to my, pipe up if you want me to open up a chat on my channel, guys. Chad, Hoff.
If Rick wants to continue on his channel, that'd be cool. Actually, give some people something to watch. Thanks for joining.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah, peace out. Sky says goodbye.
Good night.
Rick,
nice. Bye, Sky.
Thanks for having Gord stop in.
Yeah, no problem.
Like a good young lad.
Yeah. He's about as old as us. He's just a couple years younger than me. So.
No, anyway, yeah. So I'll talk to you either during the week on your channel or next weekend on my channel.
Okay.
All right. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.